as a company, if you want to reward your clients, you can give them as in NFT form. For example, if you release a 10,000 NFT, for those who own this NFT, 10% voucher for year 2022. Yeah, they just bought it. So once they go to the shop, show the NFT inside their wallet, that's it. You get a 20-30% discount.
Welcome to the iSearch podcast. Today we have Irsyad, the CEO of Pentas, on the show. So Pentas is one of the fastest growing NFT marketplace in the world and also made locally in Malaysia. So today I'll be discussing with Irsyad on what is NFT and also how can businesses sell their own NFT. So welcome to the show, Irsyad.
Welcome. How are you?
Yeah, good. So let's begin. So could you share with us, I think a lot of people also want to know, what is an NFT?
Okay, NFT, the word itself is so jargon. NF means non-fungible, T means token. I'm not going to give a definition, but mostly when I tell people, non-fungible means something that are unique. When I say something that are unique, it can be anything. It can be art, it can be music, it can be yourself, your whatever, your t-shirt, collectibles item, cards, playing cards, baseball bat. Anything that are unique is actually non-fungible. The T, because the full is NFT, the T is a token. And when I mention token is something that represents something. Example, if you go to arcade, if you want to play any game, you give them money, they give you token. So token is that representing whatever amount for you to play on the arcade. So NFT means something that are unique, represented in a token. So when it is represented in a token, which means it can be traded, it can have a ownership, it can be transferred. So that is NFT. In a simple term, something that are unique, represented in the token.
Okay. So, why are people buying NFTs, and do you think this is a bubble?
This is a quite common question, and I love to answer this type of question, because when you see the NFT itself, because normally when people ask bubbles, people normally compare with art or compare with, okay, I have this photo, but actually if you understand the technology itself, NFT doesn't always need to be art. It can be anything. What if your vaccination certificate is an NFT? What if when you buy car, you have a grant? What if that grant is NFT? So when something which is unique, represented in a token, and it is written on a blockchain, which is a public ledger, trustable by everyone, the technology itself is not a bubble. Right? During the .com, people mention about .com bubble. The one that pops is not the internet. The one that pops is actually the investment, the companies at that time, the product that people built on top of internet. So the narrative stays the same. When you see that NFT is a bubble, NFT itself is a technology. It is not a bubble. That's the clear answer. But is there any bubble? Yes, there's a possible bubble. And what type of bubble is that? NFT projects. Now we see there are many NFT projects. There are many collectibles items. Some collectibles might continue appreciate value. Some collectibles might be abandoned. Maybe if let's say there's a crypto summer, right? Crypto summer means maybe the price of the crypto is going down and so on and so on. Maybe certain project will survive. Majority of project will not survive. Only a few will survive. That is the bubble. So it means the bubble itself for NFT as a technology is clear cut. It's a big no. But for a project, for a component that people build on top of NFT, there's a high probability that can happen.
Alright, understand. So you're saying that NFT is here to stay, but certain NFT projects might not be here to stay. So you buy at, say, 1,000 ringgit, but it might go down to zero. But the NFT ecosystem as a whole is here to stay.
Yes.
Understand. So I think another question that's very interesting is we also see a lot of people say, oh, I bought this monkey, or I bought this dog, or I bought this cat JPEG for can be crazy price, can be 10k, can be 100k.
Yeah.
So what is the justification behind people buying this type of NFTs?
Okay, this question more or less related to value, right? What gives NFT a value? Why certain NFT people price it so high? Right? Value can come in many factors. Some of it is actually can come because of exposure. When I say exposure means there are certain NFTs that there are many people saw it. It's demand. It is a trend. Right? Maybe now people love to own that very famous board ape. It's an ape photo, which is only have 10,000 copies, 10,000 types, 10,000 tokens of that board ape. And in the world, there are many people who love to own that. Maybe part of bragging rights, right? Because the artists have it, famous people have it. So if you own that, you are part of the elite. It can be a bragging right. The demand for that is technically can be very high. And why people willing to spend whatever amount, millions of money because of that, is because of public ledger. Right? If it is handled by, let's say, Google website, or if, let's say, this is handled by a stock photo website, maybe people might think twice. Should I spend 100 million buying this? Right? At the end, this company can just close. This company can just change the ownership by themselves, because there's a single authority, a single dictatorship power that can do that. But when it comes to blockchain, nobody has the power. Right? Nobody has the power to simply change the ownership. And the information is immutable, means is there forever on the blockchain. We understand the factor of immutable. We understand the factor of course, the most boring answer is supply and demand. We understand the factor of the demand. This gives the value high. And again, I think if you refer back to your first question, can this be a bubble? Maybe now there's a lot of trend and hype. People wanted to have that as a social brag, or as a flex, of people mostly say it. But maybe 10 years from now, people don't care. So there is a pro and con. People can treat it as an investment. People can treat it as something that they love to collect. Same, right now also people love to collect like Pokemon cards, physical Pokemon cards, right? Among themselves, people love something which is rare, very hard to get, that can be expensive. So again, value can depend on many things. It can depend on again, the most boring answer is demand. And other than that, it also can be related to history. Jack Dorsey first Twitter, NFT was sold for very high price amount. And one of the reasons why is because that is part of the history, which means that's the first tweet. Right? For those who own that, that's a bragging right. Same. Some people love to collect watch. But if you collect watch, who's going to see your watch? Some people love to collect cars. Who's going to see your cars? Unless you post on the social media. But when it comes to NFT, if you bought something, people know that it's owned by you, because they can see what is the effect you own inside your wallet. So those are the new way of people showing what they own. At the same time, it can be as investment. At the same time, it can be just people love to own that as a bragging right.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's quite similar to say Instagram, but in the NFT format. So I come to your profile, Irsyad profile, I can see which NFTs they own. Or maybe you own this ape and it's worth like 200,000. So it's like sort of like show the kind of person you are and your personality also.
The word is social status.
Yes, social status.
The word is social status. Because again, now the way we present ourselves, right, even our podcast, we have done it digitally. How many hours we spend every day on our phone? We spend more and more, and this is statistically proven that from years and years, people are spending more on their digital presence. So when it comes to digital presence, what is the things that shows on the digital presence? Yes, of course, you can have a social status. You can have that's why if you see some of celebrity, social network celebrity, they show certain photos and so on, like what they have, what they own. Yes, that can be part of it, but at the same time, if let's say you are an entrepreneur, how do you convince, or do you show to people, okay, you are a successful entrepreneur, which is maybe, okay, you own Bored Ape, you own CryptoPunk, which is you bought it for what, 5 million, 6 million. So that can be social status, yeah. So if you want to talk with someone that, okay, I don't need to show my car, or I don't need to, so of course, there are some people might agree, some people might not agree. But again, this can benefit everyone. Either it is again social status, or either it is to support artists as a creators, that maybe collectors really love art and you want to help the artists. Yeah, it can be part of it.
Yep. I think besides social status and also support, some of the NFTs, they also get access to the creators. So maybe if you buy this JPEG NFT, you will get like maybe a one-on-one chat with me for like 30 minutes per year or something like that.
Yes. I believe you did study about Gary Vee. Have you studied about his V Friends project?
Yeah. I think that's like that's the most
NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. NFT not only can be used as I said, bragging right, but at the same time, it depends on how people are going to use it. Because since you guys are more or less related to business, what Gary Vee does is, for those who own the NFT, they have a special access. What is that type of special access? meet and greet. So that special access, special ticketing. People do buy club membership. Back then, people buy club membership for what? Networking. So this is what happened. This is what they do with, for example, one of a NFT project like Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you own that, you just go to California. They have a one mansion. You can use that. You can be within a few groups that you are within a few Bored Apes owner. You can just give a call, meet and greet, say what business you are doing. Those are it's the same, right? This is the same thing because since this is related to business, and people buy business membership.
Yeah.
Right? People buy business membership.
Yep.
What for? People spend excess amount for business membership. Connection, networking, yeah. NFT can be used as a medium similar to business membership. And at the same time, there are many things that it can come with a utility. As I mentioned, Bored Ape, they come with utility. Gary V created as a utility. And even in the near future, NFT is a ticketing system. If you go to a concert, if you buy a flight ticket, again, example, if you go to a concert, what do you do after you purchase the ticket online? So if you purchase the ticket online, the ticket is just in your email. You print it, you go to the concert, you show the ticket or scan the barcode, that's it. But what if that ticket is basically not only a ticket, but the merchandise? You collect it. Right? You imagine what is the biggest concert? Maybe by, I don't know, Michael Jackson or whatever artist. You go to that concert, you own that ticket and you keep until now. But that's a piece of paper. It might be damaged. And what if there's a legendary artist going to host the biggest concert event? And that ticket is actually NFT. So that is memorabilia. So again, if we go back to your business context, because since our audience mostly more or less related to business, this is some sort of utility that business owner can look into. And instead of limiting ourselves NFT and an art, but once you understand the functionality, the technology itself, then that's huge.
Yeah. All right. So I guess for business who wish to get started with NFT, how can they get started?
Very simple, features. But okay, the first thing what they need to do is of course to understand the technology. And what is the technology underlying technology that powered NFT is actually blockchain. And why blockchain? Because blockchain is it built a trustable ledger governed by everyone, not governed by a single entity. Nobody can bring it down. It has been proven. The information trusted by everyone. Again, based on this, people create layer of application on top of it, and one of it is non-fungible token. And on top of non-fungible token that I mentioned just now, people can look into utility, people can look into ticketing system, people can look into, I don't know, if you want to give as a company, if you want to reward your clients, you can give them as in NFT form. For example, if you release a 10,000 NFT, for those who own this NFT, 10% voucher for year 2022. Yeah, they just bought it. So once they go to the shop, show the NFT inside their wallet, that's it. You get a 20-30% discount. Right? Not only that NFT can be traded. So how does the company can start? Of course, the first thing is advocacy. Means they need to explore and learn. And other than that, for Pentas itself, they can also reach us because we have a corporate B2B segment, which is that can create a specific tailored solution for them.
Okay. So maybe I just give an example. Let's say for restaurants who wish to sell NFTs, what can they sell?
Restaurant want to sell NFT. Okay. Example as mentioned just now. I believe the concept of giving coupon has been implemented for years. What if the restaurant gonna step up their game? Instead of a piece of paper that people might throw, or instead of forcing people to install an app, of course now some restaurants they are forcing people to install an app. I won't mention any, but most of the restaurants are trying to do so. How many apps you gonna install on your phone?
Yeah, too many.
At the end, yes, of course you can enforce them to install an app. But what if that is a better solution? You don't even need to force people. You release an NFT, your client can purchase it, can buy it, and can own it. Not only that, it also has a resale value. Resale value means, for example, okay, I bought it for, let's say, 300 ringgit. For those who own the NFT, you will get maybe 1 year of 30% discount. Maybe, I only used it for 3 years. I use it for 3 months. After 3 months, I don't like, maybe I'm not interested. I can resell it again for someone else. The ownership can be transferred. So for those who own that, they will continue to enjoy the benefits. So, like what you said, as a restaurant, What if they can step up the game instead of just normal boring coupon with serial number? That is actually NFT. Right? Coupon with serial number, that is non-fungible. That is exactly non-fungible.
Yep.
Tokenize it. Make it in digital form.
Okay, so maybe let's say if a restaurant, they have 20 food in their menu, they can maybe just pick one food in the menu, 1 out of 20, and say that this food, we are going to give you 30% discount each time you come and you manage to show us that you have this NFT. And also for this food, we are only selling, say, 5,000 NFTs. So once 5,000 sold, then no more already. So let's say if I buy today at 100 ringgit and I get 30% off for, say, like what you say, 1 year. But maybe like 3 months later, I don't feel like eating in this restaurant anymore and I wish to sell, I can maybe sell for 300 ringgit. And then
the person, not only maybe you can get back your initial amount that you paid, you might get extra.
Yeah, I might get extra. And also the most important thing is the restaurant will also get some amount of royalty from the sale.
Yes. Okay. So you did your study correct. So NFT, there's a historical value, people can put utility on it. There is one more powerful thing, like you did mention about that, royalty. Royalty is forever governed by the smart contract. Every time that NFT is being transacted, the owners, original owners will get the royalty. Who is the one that monitor this royalty? Not even Pentas. Is the blockchain who monitor and execute this type of rules based on what you have written on the smart contract. And this is very powerful. Right? Yes, not many people who are willing to adopt, but if you are business owners, if you see something that is so much potential because of the technological shift, people should start. Right? People should be the first company who adopt it. You ride that wave, you be the number one, you'll be part of history. Same goes with one of the football club, the first Malaysian football club who sold NFT, which is Selangor FC. They already secure the historical, maybe 2 years, 3 years from now, 10 years from now, NFT is like very normal to everyone. Who's the first football club doing NFT? Selangor FC, they already have that. When it comes to business or corporation, their fast food chain is doing that in Malaysia. There are many who have already kickstart the project. So this is something that for me is something that people cannot stop. The technology is there. The same scenario as social media, right? Back then, people who use social media is only individual. They create profile, they add friends, they like each other, they comment each other back then. But who is the entity that is going to tell institutions, hey, you must have your company profile on Facebook? Right? But now, basically all brands is in Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Right? The same history is only repeat again. NFT, yes, the lowest hanging fruit is art, but if you really understand the technology, it can be beyond art. Right? We already give the example of food restaurant, right? That's a huge advantage for people who are really going to step one step forward compared to others.
Yeah. I think another roadblock is like, because let's say even like social media, if we want to buy something on social media, we will just use like our credit card to buy, and that's like, it's still like cash money. Whereas for NFT, we cannot buy using credit card. We have to buy crypto first, then only we can buy the NFT. So do you think that would be like a roadblock for businesses?
That is true, but for me, I see that this is a for now type of situation. Why I say for now? Because currently, if you want to buy NFT, you need to use your crypto. If you want to use fiat or Malaysian ringgit to buy NFT, that currently in Malaysia there's a regulation involved. Any conversion between fiat and crypto, you must go through a regulated exchange. For now, we are under discussion because at the end, you see, before we launch Pentas, right, our first perspective or our first thing that we thought, will there be any buyer? Because we cannot sell in fiat, right? Because that is totally, of course for us before we go live, we did communicate with Malaysia's Security Commission and mention to them, okay, this is our business model, this is what we're going to do. But you cannot do any conversion because if you do that, you need to go for license exchange. And surprisingly, once we launch, we notice that actually there's a lot of Malaysians already aware about crypto silently. So how about the future? How about the challenges that you mentioned? Like if let's say people cannot buy in fiat, yes, currently this is a hurdle, but what we can do, because we are doing advocacy, we are telling people, right? Okay, institution or company, corporation, you can look into this. And the moment all of us, including us as marketplace, including us as an enabler, together with the corporation that what we are doing is only we are doing a from ground up type of a pushing. Look, there's a demand, there's a lot of benefits. The government will listen, and at the end they need to enable it. They have no choice. This scenario happens the same with Bitcoin. Back then, Bitcoin was banned in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Do you know that Bitcoin was banned in Malaysia back then? But nobody can stop because people understand the technology is just so powerful. So what happened right now? You can trade Bitcoin in licensed exchange. So to allow people to buy using fiat in NFT, this is going to be happen in the near future. But which company are there enough? Which company that has a strong vision to be the pioneer and to be the initiator?
Okay. So I would say, to summarize all, if a business wish to start an NFT, first they need to think of what kind of offer or deals that they can give to their buyers. And then once they have that, create an image or nice image, and then to list it on Pentas. And then Pentas will handle like the payment of the crypto, and then after that Pentas will like sort of have like a profit sharing with the companies. Is it correct?
We again, like what I mentioned, we did not do services for corporation. Of course, you guys can be the entity that helps to initiate this, which means for the corporation, mostly one of their hurdles is actually the conversion between fiat and crypto. Right? In Malaysia, one of the exchange that have a corporate solution is one of it is the Synergy. Synergy is one of the exchange that have a corporate solution. But of course, for certain companies to start with a corporate type of solution, there are many tiers of approval. Right? So, what does this bring? This brings a lot of opportunity for players like you guys. Right? A solution provider that helps brands to embark into NFT. What does this solution provider do? They can create an account with Synergy, official account to help them in terms of whatever conversion. They can manage the NFT minted, they can manage everything, they can manage their profile on Pentas, all those things. So there is a solution, and at the same time there is an opportunity. So again, what is the opportunity? We are the marketplace. There is the ecosystem builder, which is the ecosystem builder helps to build onboarding, and there is also the end buyer.
Okay. Alright, got it. So I guess we are all very excited with this NFTs thing, but there are also some people that say the NFT will damage the environment. So what are your thoughts on this?
This is also a misleading information. Because why? When it comes to environment, okay, in blockchain itself, there are many networks. There is Ethereum network, there is a Binance Smart Chain network, there is a Phantom network, there are many networks. And not all is actually can cause, which is most of people claim, environmental effect. And what if I give you an example, okay? One of the purpose of blockchain, okay, when I mention purpose of blockchain, is actually to provide, to become a validator. What is the job of validator? Validator means they are doing check and balance to see does this information is correct. So if I give you an example, okay, you own a car. Who tell you that car is owned by you? What is the government body that do that? It's JPJ, right? It can be JPJ, it can be whatever. It can be car, it can be house. When it comes to this, how much energy used by this department to provide you the information that, okay, this car is, you are the owner, compared to an energy used by an automated system to tell, okay, you own it. If you read the exact figure and statistics, it's far off. Again, we need to understand the concept of authority, right? Same, okay, I'll give you another example. Who tell you how much money you own in your bank account? It's a bank, right? Bank is an entity who tell you, okay, bank, this is how much you have in your bank account, this is your statement. All the information is actually managed and governed by an entity called a bank. How much energy is used by the bank compared to an automated system who manage, okay, Irsyad, you have this amount of Bitcoin. So if people compare in terms of, oh, this energy, blah, blah, but if people start to understand the purpose, the functionality, the job task, right? The one that use energy is the validator. So if you have a validator that use very less and almost near to none, less than 5% energy consumed by the entire banking sector, do you compare? It's like too far off. Correct. So when the moment you understand the purpose of that, then people will understand the right way to compare it.
Yeah, I think like because now it's like still very early this NFT thing, and I think people will need more like reports of the environmental impacts comparison between like currently versus what NFT can bring. Then only more and more businesses and also purchasers will be more convinced of this stuff in the future. So yeah, so I guess to wrap it up for this episode, is there anything else that you would like to share about Pentas? What are the upcoming features that we can expect to have in the future?
One of the things that we are doing right now is actually we are building a framework for ticketing system. Because I did mention about ticketing system. It's being built right now in Pentas. At the same time, we are going to support multiple networks, not only on Binance, but we are in the strategic planning on what are the next network that we're going to support. There are a few networks which is highly probability we might use it, either Phantom or as of now it depends on how we're going to execute the strategy. But as again, we are building a fractional, I'll call it fractional ownership of NFT. Means one NFT not only can be owned by one, but it can be owned by up to 500,000 owners. So this is called fractional ownership of NFT, and this can further push, especially on the ticketing system. And at the same time, we are looking into more and more networks to support in Pentas.
So currently, are your purchasers mostly Malaysians, or are you starting to get
roughly about 60% Malaysian? 60%. We do have currently for the past few weeks we have increased traffic from Indonesia. There are a few Indonesian well-known artists also in Pentas, and their art also currently is featured on our featured NFT.
Okay.
And there's one good thing about crypto space or NFT space is imagine if you're e-commerce, if you want to go abroad, like let's say you want to go to Indonesia, you need to settle logistics there. You need to settle local payment gateway. When it comes to crypto, you can go to any country. Right? Payment is the same, processing is the same. It is borderless.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think this is one of the most interesting episodes that I've done so far. So thanks, Irsyad, for coming onto the show. Check out Pentas down below, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you. Have a great day.